Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a truly extraordinary object from the past, stone that combines fashion, technology, luxury, and mystery. Between 1620 and 1660, during the Age of Empires, Enlightenment, and Extravagance, a rare kind of object was produced: diamond eyeglasses. Yes, eyeglasses, but not just any kind. These were spectacles designed not just to aid vision, but to symbolize wealth, power, and perhaps even spiritual clarity. They were made with lenses shaped from diamonds, or often set in gold with frames encrusted with diamonds. These rare and opulent objects stand at the crossroads of science, fashion, and status. Today, we'll explore where they came from, who wore them, how they were made, and what they meant. To understand the emergence of diamond eyeglasses, we must place ourselves in the early 17th century, a time of global exploration, scientific revolution, and rising wealth among elites in Europe and Asia. This was the age of Galileo, of microscopes and telescopes, of a new way of seeing the world. Vision itself was undergoing a transformation, no longer just a physical sense, but a metaphor for knowledge, clarity, and truth. Meanwhile, empires such as the Mughal Empire in India, the Qing dynasty in China, and European powers like Spain, France, and the Netherlands were vying for control of trade and wealth. The elite class of rulers, nobles, and merchants used jewels and precious objects to assert their status. In this setting, eyeglasses made with or encrusted in diamonds emerged not as medical devices, but as luxurious curiosities, symbols of refinement and almost divine insight. Let's talk about what these eyeglasses actually looked like. There are very few surviving examples, but the most famous ones include the Mughal spectacles, believed to be crafted in the early 17th century in India, featuring lenses cut from single diamonds or emeralds. Their frames were made of gold, encrusted with other gemstones such as rubies and sapphires. The lenses were polished into thin, translucent pieces, not for medical clarity, but for aesthetic and symbolic use. These were not practical devices. They did not significantly improve vision as modern eyeglasses do. Rather, they were likely worn during ceremonies, religious rituals, or as part of royal attire. In fact, many historians believe they were meant to convey spiritual or supernatural qualities. For example, diamond was thought to protect against evil, and emeralds were associated with divine insight. To create diamond eyeglasses between 1620 and 1660 would have required extraordinary skill. Cutting a diamond to make a lens is extremely difficult, as diamond is one of the hardest substances known. This required expert lapidaries, gem cutters, likely based in India, where the most skilled craftsmen worked with Mughal royalty. Advanced tools and knowledge of optics. Access to enormous and high-quality raw diamonds, something only available to the wealthiest rulers in the world. Each lens would have been painstakingly shaped and polished to create a smooth, thin surface enough to see through, even if distorted. The frames were often crafted by goldsmiths, set with hundreds of small diamonds and other gems. These eyeglasses were, in essence, jewels themselves, not tools. So who were these spectacles made for? They were not made for ordinary citizens or even wealthy merchants. These were objects for emperors, sultans, princes, and spiritual leaders. In particular, the Mughal emperors of India are believed to have commissioned some of these glasses. The Mughals were known for their love of precious stones and their deep spiritual traditions. In some cases, the glasses may have been worn during religious meditations, symbolizing clarity of mind and soul. In other cases, they may have been intended as gifts or ceremonial items to display wealth and cosmic power. Some art historians suggest that these eyeglasses weren't worn at all but rather displayed, perhaps laid beside a ruler's bed or throne, as a talisman or object of contemplation. Let's go deeper into what diamond eyeglasses meant beyond the physical. In many cultures, diamond symbolized purity and incorruptibility, clarity of thought and spiritual vision, protection from evil forces. To wear eyeglasses made of diamond wasn't just a statement of wealth, it was a claim to divine wisdom, to the ability to see beyond the material world. This fits perfectly with the spiritual traditions of both the Islamic Mughal courts and the mystical branches of European Christianity. Eyeglasses themselves were a new symbol in the 17th century, associated with learning, wisdom, science, and age. To combine this with diamonds created a powerful new image: the ruler who sees clearly, both in this world and beyond. Very few of these eyeglasses survive today. Those that do are held in private collections or museums. In 2021, a pair of diamond and emerald eyeglasses believed to be from the 17th century Mughal court were offered at auction by Sotheby's and created international buzz. The rarity of these items makes them almost mythical, part jewelry, part technology, part legend. Today, they are studied by historians of art, science, fashion, and religion alike. They are physical reminders of an age when the boundaries between vision, luxury, and divinity were much more fluid than they are today. Let's take a moment to reflect. What does it mean to create eyeglasses from diamonds? Is it an act of vanity? Or is it an attempt to elevate a humble object into the realm of the sacred? These eyeglasses challenge us to think about the objects we surround ourselves with today. In our own age of luxury branding and wearable tech, the 17th century diamond spectacles may not be so distant from us after all. They represent a human desire that never goes out of fashion: to see clearly, to be seen, and to express our identity, power, and beliefs through what we wear. The diamond eyeglasses of 1620 to 1660 are not just relics of excess. They are windows both literal and symbolic into a world where vision meant more than eyesight. They show us how science and spirituality, fashion and function, and wealth and wisdom can all converge in a single object. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that sometimes, the clearest vision comes not from what we see but from what we believe the world might reveal. Thank you.